everyone. We will all go together to Palestine and I will let you know more about their country. So, sit back and relax. The state of Palestine has had several types of flag during its existence. So, let's have a short tour of the history of the Palestinian flag. The colorful, eye-catching flag was first adopted on May 28, 1964, by the Palestinian Liberation Organization. Right after the Six-Day War in 1967, Israel banned the Palestinian flag in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. In 1980, a law was created to forbid politically significant artworks, especially those using the four colors of the Palestinian flag. And on November 15, 1988, their flag became the national flag. The colors of the Palestinian flag are said to hold a specific meaning, and the combination of them tells the larger story of the plight of the native people of Palestine. Red. It represents the many martyrs and sacrifices of the Palestinian people. Black represents the oppression and persecution that Palestinians have suffered for countless years. White symbolizes peace and love and the purity of the messages that every prophet was sent with to the sacred land of Palestine. And lastly, green means prosperity, blessings, and hope for a thriving future. And now, let's talk about the Palestine geography. The location of Palestine is at the eastern coast of Mediterranean Sea. It is also located to the south of Lebanon and to the west of Jordan. Palestine also consists of four regions in the country, which is Jordan Valley, Gar, Coastal and Inner Plains, Mountains and Hills, and the Southern Desert. A quick trivia. Did you know that scholars believe the name Palestine originally comes from the word Philistia, which refers to the Philistine who occupied part of the region in the 12th century BC. Throughout history, Palestine has been ruled by numerous groups, including the Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Arabs, Fatimids, Seljuk Turks, Crusaders, Egyptians, and Mamelukes. From about 1517 to 1917, the Ottoman Empire ruled much of the region. And when World War I ended in 1918, the British took control for Palestine. The League of Nations issued a British mandate for Palestine, it is a document that gave Britain administrative control over the region and included provisions for establishing a Jewish national homeland in Palestine. And eventually the mandate went into effect in 1923. In 1947, after more than 2 decades of British rule, the United Nations proposed a plan to partition Palestine into two sections, which is an independent Jewish state and an independent Arab state. In 1964, the Palestine Liberation Organization or PLO was formed for the purpose to establish a Palestine Arab state on the land previously administered under the British mandate, which the PLO considered to be occupied illegitimately by the State of Israel. And during 1969, the well-known Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat became the chairman of the PLO and held that title until he died in 2004. Palestine is a parliamentary democracy based on political pluralism and is a multi-party system. Palestine does not have a formal constitution. Instead, its legal framework is based on various historical legal systems as well as the 2002 Basic Law, which is amended in 2003 and 2005. That functions as a temporary constitution until the establishment of an independent state. The President of the National Palestinian Authority or PA is elected by universal, direct suffrage for a 4-year period. Also, President holds executive powers shared with the Council of Ministers in charge of enforcing decisions of the Legislative Council. The President appoints the Prime Ministers who appoints the government ministers. The Palestinian Legislative Council also holds the legislative power, which has 132 members that are elected by universal suffrage for a 4-year mandate. This information is according to European Committee of the Regions. Who is the President of Palestine? So the President of Palestine is Mahmoud Abbas, or also called as Abu Mazim. Following Arafat's death in November 2004, Abbas was named head of the Palestine Liberation Organization or PLO. And in January 2005, he easily won the election to succeed Arafat as president of the PA, garnering more than 60% of the vote. Though he was elected to a 4-year term, he remained in his office for much longer, as elections for his replacement were repeatedly put off. He faced criticism throughout his term for his management of domestic affairs as well as his inability to advance the peace process with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. After the peace process, he attempted to advance Palestinian statehood through a number of unilateral measures instead. And now let's talk about their election. The 2021 elections in Palestine municipalities and local authorities were divided in 2 phases, according to a decision taken by the Palestinian Authority or PA Council of Ministers. The first round of voting took place on December 11, 2021, which has 376 respondents and mostly from rural and local authorities in the West Bank, while the second round occurred on March 26, 2022, and include the remaining 66 local authorities in the Gaza and larger municipalities in the West Bank, and an additional 61 local authorities where no election took place in the first round were also included. And in May 2021, President Mahmoud Abbas canceled the legislative and presidential elections. So to sum up, Palestine is located in the eastern Mediterranean Sea, south of Lebanon, and west of Jordan. We also tackle their history, the meaning behind their colorful flag, who is their present president, and their election process. I hope you learned something from my discussion. Thank you.